I'm going to teach you how to scrub up. Now what that means is getting your hands washed and putting on a gown ready to go and help in an operation. Now it's really important that when you do go into helping an operation that you're really sterile. You have to be absolutely clean, otherwise you can introduce bacteria into the patient. So the best piece of advice is if you're ever unsure, you think you might be doing the wrong thing, or you think you might have touched something that's not sterile, then always ask for help. Get someone to watch you do it. Just don't chance it, always ask for help. So the first phase is making sure that you're set up, ready to put on your gown. First things first, you need to wear a scrub hat. And make sure that as much of your hair as possible is covered. You shouldn't have anything sticking out. Okay, you now need to prepare your gown ready so that when you go and wash your hands, you can come back and you don't need to touch anything that's not sterile. So it's alright to touch the outside of the packaging, but you can't touch anything that's inside. And so you need to carefully open up this gown, just touching the very corners, but not touching anything inside. So, do it corner by corner. Make sure that it's nice and spread out. And you can then do the same with your gloves, so you only touch the outside of the packaging, and you can carefully drop your gloves into the area. Okay, the next thing to do is put on your mask. So this is quite simple. There's a metal bit at the top which goes onto your nose, and then the rest of it goes around the back of your head. So that goes there. Hopefully you can still hear me. And then you tie it securely around the back of your head, but don't do it too tightly because you might be wearing this for quite a long time. And then this bit goes around the back again. Okay, I'm now ready to go and wash my hands. So I need to get a nail brush ready above the sink, and then I would wash my hands, which we've shown in a different video, and then I'd come back in time to put on the gown. So I want you to pretend that my mask stayed on. I'm going to take it off just for ease of understanding what I'm saying. So I've got nice clean hands, I've washed them very thoroughly, and they're wet. So I'm going to hold them close together, away from my body and away from anything else that's dirty. And I'm going to come, and first of all, I'm going to dry my hands. So you've got 2 towels in here. And so you shake them out and then carefully dry your hand using a different bit for each part of your arm, so that you're moving the water down your arm because your fingers are meant to be the cleanest part. And then we'll use the other towel and just dry this hand. Okay, we'll now put on the gown. So you need to pick it up quite carefully. You can see on the gown itself that it will be folded in a way that makes it easier for you. So you need to make sure that you've got plenty of space and you're not going to drop it on anything that's unsterile. And then you can unfold the gown. Gosh, this one's enormous. And hold it by the neck. And you'll be able to see that there are actually 2 armholes, so you need to hold it so it's not touching anything. And just reach your arms, not through the end of the cuff, Okay, I'm now going to ask someone to come in and just tie up my gown for me. And they're going to very carefully touch the gown, only the inside of the gown, so as not to make anything unsterile. Okay? Thank you. So the next task is to put on my gloves. And now, at no point do I want my hands, even though they're clean, to come out of where they are and touch the gloves or the gown itself. So I want to keep everything super sterile. So it's actually quite tricky because I need to put these gloves on without using my fingers. So I don't know if you can see, but in here, your gloves will be nicely laid out for you. And you can turn it, and then you carefully put your fingertips in the inside of the glove, like that. And then you can pull the glove on and carefully slide your hand out of the cuff and into the glove itself. And just wriggle your fingers until you've got your gloves on. Don't worry about getting it absolutely perfect. It's better to get both gloves on and then your hands are sterile and you can do the last bits of arranging. So this second glove is much, much easier because you've already got a sterile glove, you can touch it. So, we'll put the cuff again around the hand. And then reach in and put your hand into the glove. Fortunately, these gloves are 2 sizes too small for me. There we go. So then you can rearrange, so you need to leave a bit of the elastic cuff inside the glove along your hand, ideally to about there, but then make sure that everything else is smoothed out so that they're going to be comfortable. Make sure you take your time, there's no point rushing and accidentally making something not sterile. Okay, so I've now got my gloves on and I'm completely sterile. My hands are ready to take part in an operation. The next thing to do is to make sure your gown is properly tied up, so then you need another bit of help. It's alright to touch the gown because your hands are sterile and your gown is sterile. So this bit here is the card to do the last tie. So you want to keep the short end and then you hand the piece of card to someone who can help you. Make sure that you've got plenty of space because you need to turn on the spot, but you don't want to touch anything that's not sterile. And then you just spin round, touch the rope but not the card, and then ask them to pull. And then you just tie that in a bow so it's comfortable for you. You're now ready. So the last thing is to make sure that you always keep your hands either touching each other. If your hands are clasped together, then you can't accidentally touch something you shouldn't. And if not, you're touching the operating table because you know that's sterile too. Okay, thank you very much.